Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Now the project we're going to talk about in this video is called Nucleon. Now, in order to understand this project, it's really essential that we understand what liquid staking is. And for those of you guys who watched my previous AMA that I did, you guys probably have an idea on what liquid staking is because we talked extensively on that in one of the topics. But for those of you guys who didn't watch the AMA and who don't know what liquid staking is, I'll give you guys brief information about what that is and what Nucleon has to offer in this space. But we're going to talk about what liquid staking is, the difference between liquid staking and the traditional staking, so that we can have a better idea on what Nucleon has to offer. So make sure to watch till the end. Do note that anything I say is not going to be an investment or a financial advice, so I'll do an investigation research. And with this out of the way, we're going to get straight into it. Now, this is the official website of Nucleon. Now, Nucleon is a project that is developed on the Conflux network. Now, Conflux is a network that has a hybrid consensus mechanism that includes proof of stake and also proof of work. But there is a problem, kind of like, that needs a solution in the Conflux proof of stake. And that's where Nucleon comes up with a solution. Now, we do know what staking is. Staking basically is locking up our tokens, locking up our assets for a period of time, and we get yield from it. The problem that we have, which, if you talk about it with anyone who normally stakes, no one enjoys their assets being locked. But this problem exists. Now, Nucleon, it offered this solution of liquid staking, which, as the word says, you are staking, but your assets, they're still liquid. It says right in front of us, unlocking liquidity for staked assets. But before we get into details, we need to have background on where it is developed, where the project is developed. Now, I already have said that this is developed on the Conflux network, but even on that, there's this eSpace, which is an EVM compatible smart contract execution environment on which this platform is developed. Now, coming back to the problem that we have in the Conflux proof of stake is that people stake their tokens, stake their assets to get a yield, but their assets remain locked. They're locked for whatever period it is. Now, no one wants their tokens or assets to be locked. And the alternative that we have of that Nucleon is offering is liquid staking. So how does that happen? What happens is you stake the tokens. Let's say you have the the native network token of the Conflux called CFX. Now, if you stake the tokens, they're staked, but you get derivative token. You receive derivative token, which is developed by Nucleon called XCFX. Now, this is the derivative token. Now, you already have staked your CFX token. They're placed, kind of like, just imagine locking them up. They're locked. But in return, not only do you get yield, from those assets, but you get the same amount of XCFX tokens as derivative. Now, you can use this XCFX in yield farming, whatever that you want to use. So basically, you have staked, but the assets, the value that you kind of like have is still liquid. So you staked your CFX tokens there, you're getting yield from there. But on top of that, you can use XCFX token, the derivatives, to generate more yield. So you get yield from the stake tokens, and on top of that, you get yield from the derivatives tokens. This is what liquid staking is. That apparently the tokens are locked, but you get derivatives, which gives you the opportunity to use in the DeFi. You can do whatever that you want to do with them because they're just like, tokens in the DeFi. Now, if you read right here, it explains further on how does it, happens. I'll give you guys a link to this document. It says when staking with Nucleon, users receive XCFX tokens with 1:1. So if you stake 100 CFX, you get 100 XCFX. Basis representing their staked CFX. XCFX balances can be used like regular CFX to earn yields and lending rewards and are updated on a daily basis to reflect your CFX staking rewards. Note that there are no lockups when staking with Nucleon and have minimum deposits of 1 CFX to decrease DDoS risks. It says when using Nucleon, staking rewards will, they will compound in real time, which allows for participation in the securing of conflicts without the associated risk and downside potential. So this is something that I already have explained to you guys. So I think at this point, it is clear what liquid staking is, what the problem is, and what Nucleon has to offer, in solution to that problem, which I think is pretty awesome, Like you get to stake your tokens without having to lock your tokens. You can, earn yield from what you stake, but on top of that, you can earn even more from the derivative tokens. So I think that's pretty insane. Now, again, for those of you guys who are still having problem with what liquid staking is, we have a document that explains how does it happen. Now we're going to move forward and talk about the tokenomics. Now, there are two tokens in this one. We have the XCFX token, which is the derivative token, and then we have their native token called NUT. Now, the XCFX token, this is an ERC20 token, which we just talked about, that the Nucleon project, it is developed on the EVM compatible e-space. And the NUT token, this is the governance token, which can be staked to vote, and also it further boosts the staked rewards, so you get even more. Now here's more details on the tokenomics of the NUT token. It is on the Conflicts e-space, so again, it is also ERC20 token. It has a total supply of 300,000 that will be released over a 4-year period with the following allocations. Now the on the XCFX, there's no limited supply. There's a whole formula for the token model, which you can see right here. You can read through it to understand how they work. Now moving forward, this is the allocations. We have 10% for team, and that is distributed over 4 years. Then if you have 10% for marketing, again, which is distributed over 4 years. Then you have 20% that goes towards the DAO strategy, and with 1% of the treasury going toward the IDO on Swappy. And then for liquidity pool, we have 60% that is distributed over 4 years. Now, if you open up the website, this is where you get the option to stake. So you can stake the CFX to unlock XCFX and stake LPs to unlock NUT. So you get these options. You can learn more about it to know more about the yield, the exchange rate, and so forth. Now here are the current analytics of the Nucleon. So we have about $1.15 million in the the total value locked in the TVL. The current value of XCFX, this is about this, it is actually slightly more than the CFX. There's circulating NUT, there's 2.5% circulating NUT, and the value of the NUT is 5.304 USDT. And there we have it. This was just a brief video on understanding what Nucleon is. I think this is a wonderful option that we have, that we should definitely switch from normal staking into liquid staking. And Nucleon, is offering something really amazing in this part. So I think this is something to consider. I'm going to give you guys all the links. That'll be in the description, so make sure you get those from there. If you still don't understand anything, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll get to your comments there. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one shortly. So stay tuned.